Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for liking, sharing, and commenting. That really helps the channel grow. I am feeling much better. Hopefully, I'm done with the hospital for a while. Yes, but I'm almost there now. So, thank you for joining and watching the channel. We're going to talk about a few things that I find that very interesting. I posted on my community page yesterday about the warning that Clever Brands got. Meghan's as an investor, where Meghan was the first investor, right? She invested in 2020, from what I understand, and in 2021 they got a warning notice for safety hazard for putting lead in their coffee, which is absolutely insane. I can tell you that I work with coffee quite a lot as a farmer. There's no need for you to have lead. I don't know why she has lead. I mean, maybe because the coffee is naturally done, but to have lead and to be officially warned about it, that's pretty big for the United States. So I wonder if that's the coffee that Oprah got, laced with so much lead that there had to be an official warning about it. Now, let's not forget that this coffee was manufactured and packaged and done everything in Xinjiang. I hate to say the name because I know I'm probably murdering it. This is a region where women are forced to do hard labor and are regularly raped. That's where Meghan has her coffee for justice and 1%, whatever, empowerment of women, package and manufacture in China. So in that particular province. And of course, all to reduce cost. And then, of course, the warning for lead, which is not great, actually. But hey, who are we to criticize a woman who's fighting for 1% of, food for justice and empowering women and blah, blah, blah. As long as the women are white and they're not working in a factory that's packaging and manufacturing that thing. Now, we're going to talk about the eviction, but before I got so many questions because, as you all know, I worked in government, especially embassies and diplomatic services. There's a misconception, and I'm going to clarify this. There's a misconception that Harry has diplomatic immunity. Harry has never had diplomatic immunity. No royal has diplomatic immunity. The sovereign has something that's called sovereign immunity. And that even has its limits. Right now, people say that Charles cannot be prosecuted for crimes, civil or criminal. But Parliament can strip him of that, like they did with Charles I, wherein the monarch was executed, if we all remember that. Do you guys remember that Charles I was executed? I don't know if you guys know the history. For some reason, the Carolingian era has not been very kind to the monarchs called Charles. So the Charles I was executed. So let me give you a recent example. King Juan Carlos right now has a lawsuit in the United Kingdom, and he tried to hide behind sovereign immunity because he claims that he was a sovereign when all the things that he did were done. And it was denied because he's no longer a sovereign and things that he's doing are terrible to this lady. So he's going to go ahead and go to court. So diplomatic immunity does not apply to Meghan, nor will it ever apply to Meghan in the United States because the Vienna Convention only works. The Vienna Convention is what you get for the diplomats. It's where it was decided what the diplomats get or don't get. You can only be a diplomat in another country, your host country, not the country of origin. So Meghan can never be a diplomat in the United States. Okay? Harry can never be a diplomat in the United Kingdom. Now, in order for Harry to be a diplomat in the United Kingdom, it is a very hard process that he has to go through. It is not just, he's a royal, we're going to give him a diplomatic immunity. That doesn't work that way. No royals have diplomatic immunity. Okay? IPP status and diplomatic immunity are two completely separate things. And by the way, the host country can choose to waive that diplomatic immunity. The country of origin can choose to have the immunity waived of the diplomat in the host country if they choose to do so. Or the person may not be prosecuted in the host country, but the host country is where the person is sent to represent, the country of origin. But they can be prosecuted in the country of origin if they choose to do that. There's all kinds of things, but Harry and Meghan can never be diplomats because, well, unless of course Meghan starts working for the government, and then they send her abroad to represent the United States in a government position. And another thing is, let me give you an example. I remember the Norwegian embassy. There was a girl that we were waiting forever because she hadn't finished high school, so she could be the filing, manage the filing systems. So we had to wait for her to have her high school diploma to come over. I mean, they don't have to be highly educated. They don't have to have, as long as they're working for the government and they're sent abroad to represent you. You will have here, at embassies, you will have people, as long as you're working for the embassy and representing your country and you're sent to work for the embassy, you have diplomatic status. And your family, by extension, has that. Your immediate family, wife and children, not your mother, not your father, not your sister, not your uncles. Wife and children, and that's it. Okay, so the IPP status is just basically saying that this is a very important person who requires security because of its status, and you don't have to be a diplomat for that. Okay, so I wanted to clarify that IPP status and diplomatic status are two completely separate things. A lot of things. Another thing is that people think that all diplomats have bodyguards. They don't. No, you usually have a license plate that says CD, diplomatic, court diplomat, it's a yellow license or the license plate or whatever, and you have your own, they give you a special document. But even ambassadors, some ambassadors don't have security depending on the country where they are posted at. Most diplomats don't have security. So international status and diplomatic status are two separate things, and it doesn't mean that diplomats get security, okay? But IPP people, they do, okay? So, and Harry and Meghan could never have immunity in the United States for anything because she is an American citizen, and as such, she's subject to the laws in her own country, the same as Harry, okay? That Harry and Meghan have preferential status because of, that they're millionaires, that Harry's the son of the king, whatever, that's a whole different story. Now, in regards to the eviction, their lease contract is coming to an end. You all know that, right? You know that the lease contract is coming to the end in Frogmore. I don't believe they are being evicted. I believe that the contract is coming to an end and it's been chosen not to be renewed. If you go to the royal website, from King Charles, right now, the monarchy's website, you will see that Harry and Meghan are still listed there. If it were indeed, in fact, that they're being evicted or that their contract hasn't been renewed, it would be reflected there. And don't say that that website hasn't been updated for Harry, because it has. It has been changed from 6th in line to the throne to 5th in line to the throne. They're updating that thing on a daily basis. They just choose not to update Harry and Meghan's completely, nor choose to remove them. Okay, but that website, if you see it every day, it's updated about the news and things that are ongoing. So for people to give that an excuse really angers me. Okay, oh, they haven't updated. Are you telling me that in this day and age, they haven't updated that? So my opinion is that they haven't updated that because they haven't been evicted. They're waiting for probably the lease to run out. And yeah, and it's incredible. You would think that 2 Oprah interviews, and I say 2 Oprah interviews because Harry had the interview with Meghan, and then he had the Apple TV, then all the speeches that he's done, all the television interviews, a book, and more interviews. It's not enough for Harry to have been done telling his story with Meghan. Given the fact that Meghan and Harry were only working royals for less than 18 months, out of which they spent most of their time traveling for personal, private trips and vacation. They only did 72 engagements. They bullied the hell out of everybody. They have abused, lied, slander, and yes, Meghan committed perjury in the United Kingdom. Meghan has committed perjury in the United Kingdom. There's no question about it. I mean, these are all my thoughts and opinions, but she did lie to the court, and that means perjury. She didn't misremember. This is a woman, as I repeatedly say, that she remembers doing scrunchies. She remembers doing this when she's 11 years of age, but she can't remember months on end of communications, written and verbal, and text and emails to her personal secretary about that book, about trashing her own sister and her own family. I don't buy it. I'm calling BS on that. So no. And they've been able to get away with it, which is why they feel empowered. They feel empowered about that. Now, as I said, I don't think they've been evicted. Charles doesn't have the balls to take a stand on anything. Charles is like a flag. He goes with the wind. Oh, this is popular today. I'm going to go here. This is unpopular today. I'm not going to go there. This is popular here today. I am. And of course, he's getting political. And it's really pissing me off. Because, of course, he promised he wasn't going to do that, right? Why would he change after 70 years? I mean, how many years has he been doing that? And he's going to cause a major diplomatic incident. He shouldn't have issued that statement in Ukraine because it closes the door to having any possible, dialogue with Russia, which is what the Queen was so excellent about. She remained, nobody knew her stance on things, especially when there's so many shady things going on about the situation that are not being told. So the Queen would have kept a neutral stance and let the government speak while remaining neutral. That way, there would have been a possibility of a dialogue between Russia and the Queen, and something of a door opened. But no. But anyways, I digress. So yes, I don't think they've been evicted. I think the leases, they're waiting for the lease to run out, and either Harry and Meghan are not going to renew. What's the point? Or the Parliament is putting pressure on King Charles to say, listen, enough is enough. Now, it does make sense that Andrew downsized. I mean, this man is paying £250 a month for being in a mansion at one of the most prime locations in the United Kingdom. No. I think I've defended Andrew in certain things, but this is BS. He has to go, and he has to pay proper commercial rate, rental rate, because it is not fair, because he's still living off the people. This is subsidized living at its best, okay? Because he shouldn't be paying, for £250 a week, that's £1,000 a month. I mean, you'd be renting a room somewhere in East London or something, South London. Not a mansion, 30-bedroom mansion in the most, pricey area. And that probably not even a day you pay for that. So yeah, I think you should be paying proper rental price for a property in where it is. And another misconception, because I actually even read it in the Daily Mail, it says that the Queen gifted Frogmore Cottage to Harry and Meghan. She couldn't give something that wasn't hers to give to begin with, because Frogmore Cottage is Crown State property. She allowed them to live there. And of course, there were refurbishments made to the tune of $3 million to accommodate the little D-list actress. And then they took off, and they did all of this knowing that they were leaving. Meghan knew about this, that she was leaving. She had never intended to stay in the UK. But she allowed this farce to go on, pretending, and then she wasn't happy about anything. She wasn't happy about this. She found everything she could to get everything wrong in order for her to be able to say, yes, see, this is why I'm leaving. Now, this idiot Harry, he has taken on the blame willingly. He has gone in all these things, all these interviews saying, I made the choice. Even if he doesn't understand that he was set up to make that choice, but he feels like the big man saying, I made the choice. Meghan doesn't control me. She doesn't brainwash me, because his ego is just as bad. His arrogance is just as bad as Meghan's. Okay? So you have an idiot marrying a fool. Which one is which? I don't know. You tell me which one is, because neither of them are smart. If they were actually a little bit smart, they wouldn't be in this situation. Meghan thinking that Harry had millions and millions and millions because of the life they're portrayed. Yes, because they live at the taxpayer's expense. But they're doing a job. When you quit doing that job, you quit having that lifestyle. So I mean, what do you guys think? Please do leave me your comments, and thank you for coming to my channel. Yes, and thank you for supporting it. Have a great day, guys.